exactly what we have right here in the men's compound gold medal match in Istanbul, World Cup finals. Look at the determination on the faces of Rodger Willett Jr. on your left and Reo Wilde on your right. And this is an interesting rematch because it was Reo Wilde who knocked Rodger Willett Jr. out of the competition in Shanghai 2 weeks ago at stage 4 and kept him from winning another gold medal. And so Rodger Willett Jr., 49 years old, ranked #1 in the world, coming into this match against his teammate Reo Wilde, who is ranked 2nd in the world. So you have #1 against #2, and they're both seated in the top 2 as well. As you look at Rodger Willett Sr., and there's a good look at Reo Wilde out of Pocatello, Idaho, who ran the table 2 weeks ago in Shanghai in the gold medal match and fired 15 consecutive strikes, 15 straight bullseyes, scored a perfect 150 points against Dietmar Trillis on that afternoon. And with his dad Dee coaxing him and coaching him on, he'll shoot it out with Rodger Willett Jr. We've already seen one All-American affair, and here's the second one of the day as the ships keep sailing by our location along the Bosphorus Straits. So here we go. Our final match of the day. And Rodger Willett Jr. lucks, loads, and pulls the trigger and gets, appears to be an 8.
Ouch.
Reo Wilde trying to focus on that target, block out the boats sailing by, the cars on the bridge, and he gets the 10.
He gets the 10. That's a perfect start for him. He got the 10 right beneath, right in the middle of the 10, 12 o'clock, and that's a nice place to start out.
Rodger answers, comes back with a 10 of his own. But if Reo gets on a roll, it might be mighty tough to catch him. And he's on a roll, it would appear.
Oh, yeah, and don't forget, they're still into that match about the money of the 10 count.
Battling for the Longines prize for precision. And there's another precise shot by Rodger Willett Jr. So after the 8, he comes back with a pair of 10s. Look how calm Reo looks. Steady and on target.
And strong.
That's how you start off a match if you want to win a gold medal. So Reo Wilde with 3 straight 10s goes up by 2 early on.
Well, who knows? Maybe Rodger gets the Longines 10 score money, and Reo, he really wants that World Cup title.
Torben, I think the truth of the matter is they both won it all.
You think so?
I think so.
Oh, I never considered that.
So Reo thinking it over.
To be honest, I think there's only one thing they're thinking about.
The next shot.
That single arrow they're putting on the bowstring right now, and they're gonna shoot it. Nothing else. They try to lock everything else out of their mind. And there was a 10.
Here works for Rodger Willett Jr. So now back to Reo, who had to finish in the top 3 in Shanghai just to reach Istanbul, where he's trying to make the most of it.
Look how steady that bow is.
Just a
And
little bit
still
outside
it
the
was a
10
9.
ring.
Yeah.
Weather conditions not really changing all that much as the afternoon wears on.
Another 10 for Rodger. He's really heading for the blue sky. Whoops.
Just
That's
outside.
barely out.
So we're tied at 48.
So Rodger is back in the business. 10, 10, 10.
And Reo needing a 10.
He's going to shoot a 10.
You think?
He has to, yeah. Oops, there's a lot of wind.
Battling the wind against
Nope.
the clock, and an 8.
Yeah, the clock was against him too. I think he fired that shot with, 2 seconds left. So no doubt about it, he felt like he had to take the shot right now.
Time was not on his side, and there you see the scoring. 58 out of a possible 60 points for Rodger Willett Jr. Started off a little bit slowly, but then picked it up in the second end as Erica Anschutz and her fiancé Casey Jones celebrate her gold medal performance, and Reo scratching his head over that second end. Reo also with 58 out of 60 possible points, and we're tied.
And not to forget, the sportsmen they are, they both shot an 8 now. So let's start hitting that 10.
So Wilde and Willett going at it in Istanbul. And Reo continues to struggle.
That's an 8-9 liner.
Actually, my mistake. It was a 2-point lead for Rodger Willett after the first 2 ends, 58-56.
And Rodger just shot another 10.
And a 9 for Reo Wilde.
Oh, I bet you guys that wind out there is tricky. They look so steady, but the slightest thing, they're going out. Another 10 for Rodger. You see Reo's stabilizer is going a little bit from side to side. So there's wind on him. Definitely.
And a 9.
He's fighting right now.
Battling the conditions here in Istanbul, where it is beautiful if you're a tourist, but if you're an archer trying to nail
another
10s,
10.
yeah, you've got to contend with the wind.
Whoa. It's not without reason that Rodger has won 3 of the 4 stages in the World Cup this year. I'm amazed about how he shoots. I really am.
So Rodger Willett Jr., who had won everything in sight up till Shanghai and then got knocked off by Reo Wilde, got his game pace on, there's no question about that. Trying to redeem himself just a little bit against his teammate Reo Wilde. Those two have teamed up to win team gold medals, but right now it is every man for himself here in Istanbul. And there's a good look at Brady Ellison, who will be center stage tomorrow in the recurve competition, ranked number 1 in the world, trying to defend his World Cup title from a year ago in Edinburgh.
Well, I must say something here, because I actually think that Ellison's girlfriend is better looking than him. But okay, that was your opinion.
I thought that went without saying. By the way, our thanks to Brady for joining us this morning during the quarterfinals of the compound competition.
Reo is really fighting it. He started out with another 9 high up at 1 o'clock, and there Rodger got a 9. I think that wind is changing on them out there more than we can imagine. There was dead center.
Bullseye for Reo Wilde, who hopes that gets him back into the groove.
Oh, yeah.
And a 9 for Rodger Willett.
Yeah, but look again. 2 arrows, exact the same spot in the 9 from Rodger. I bet you that's the wind that is pushing him out there, because he's not aiming out in the 9. He's aiming at the 10.
And there's a 10.
10
So
for
back-to-back 10s for Reo Wilde, who trailed by 5 after 3 ends, after leading by
Rodger
2.
puts the last one in. Perfect.
So Rodger finishes up strong and gets the bullseye with his final arrow of the fourth end, and D. Wilde on the left, Reo Wilde on the right, pondering the circumstances and the situation right now, down by 4 with only 3 arrows left to shoot here in Istanbul, and it really turned around in that second end when Rodger Willett shot 3 straight 10s and Reo Wilde shot a pair of 9s and an 8. So it was a 4-point swing, and Reo went from 2 up to being 2 down.
That's archery.
Rodger Willett has taken advantage as Steve Anschutz looks on, father of Erica Anschutz. There's Lexi, one of our reporters from back at Weber State University in Ogden, Utah, over here covering the World Cup finals and hopefully getting extra credit. Down to the final 3 arrows.
10.
Just outside.
That's out. Yep.
So a 9 for Rodger Willett, who has a 4-point cushion to play with here in the final end. Rodger 2 arrows away from winning the World Cup finals, and in all likelihood the Longines prize for precision. But Reo Wilde not going down without a fight. Pair of 10s for Reo to start off this final end, and there is an 8. No, they'll say it's on the line, a 9.
9-liner.
It's a 3-point match at this point. So Reo needs a 10, and then he'll sit back and see what happens, but he settles for a 9.
He tried to save that by a nice swing of the bow arm, but the arrow was already gone.
A 9 for Rodger Willett will wrap it up, and there's a big smile on the face of the man from Virginia.
Oh, can he do it better? The first time his dad is out flying, it's together with his son. Son takes back down the gold. Perfect.
Big smile on the face of the man from Virginia, who came in with a #1 ranking in the world. Reached the semifinals by holding off Turkey's Ali Davarchi, and won in the semifinals and advanced to the finals, where he defeated Reo Wilde and wins by 2, 143 to 141. But as Reo reflects back on this tonight, tomorrow, a month from now.
Heavily breathing there, Willett. Heavily breathing.
Now a lot of the pressure off for both of them right now.
Oh yeah, a lot of pressure.
That's a ton of pressure on the shoulders
right now.
Yeah, but it turns out to be a 2-point decision in favor of Rodger Willett Jr. of the United States, defeating his fellow countryman Reo Wilde for the gold medal in the men's compound competition here in beautiful Istanbul, Turkey, on a gorgeous Saturday